Young guys, this has been the best group of young players the Warriors have had probably in the Curry era, since Curry, Clay, and Draymond.
Cowboys got a linebacker.
Well, yeah. A former Niner linebacker.
Here's the other thing I was thinking. So, if you think about it this way.
Give it to us.
So the Warriors, their dynasty, they've had right now, essentially, they're sitting with the exact same core that they did when they had their first championship.
But they had veterans. They never needed to lean on youngsters.
No. That's the second part of it. The first part of it is they're all 12 years older.
Oh, okay. No, okay, gotcha.
Well, that's the point, is there's never been a dynasty that's lasted this long where they haven't, the original core hasn't gotten any help.
Wow.
Durant came, boom, they kept winning. Wiggins had a half a year, and he was that guy.
They won.
But if Wiggins becomes the player he was 2 years ago, they still ain't winning it because their top three guys have dropped off. Steph marginally, but
wouldn't you feel better? And maybe they're not at 10th.
I will never rily on Andrew Wiggins anymore to feel better.
No, I gotta no fight from your partner anymore on that, man. I get you.
I just, I look at that game last night, and if you're not we can still win a championship. We can still win a championship right here, right now. There was some encouraging things to take out of that game.
17 minutes from Looney, Steiny. +6, if you're into that.
Well, Draymond didn't play.
Well,
and that's the only reason he got off the bench last night. But 888-957-9570 is the number. Let's go to Max in Napa. He's going to try to make you optimistic, Goo.
Let's go.
Hey, Max, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. I was going to say, I know this is an optimistic take, like you said, but I really do feel like the 6th spot is still in play. It would be tough, and obviously they have to stop losing games against the Bulls and the Spurs and think that they should obviously win. But looking at everybody else's schedule, the Suns have a absolutely brutal schedule going into the end of the year. The Kings don't have it that easy. The Mavericks play OKC, and then they play Denver. And then if, the Warriors can beat the Lakers and the Knicks, then they're one game out of 8th place. So I feel like it's still really close. Obviously, they got to stop doing stupid things and losing games that they should win. But one other thing, I think that, on the take of don't just absolutely give Steph whatever he wants all the time. I think you could move off of CP and Wiggins, but I don't think that he would be comfortable moving off of Clay. And then Clay also finally agreeing to come off the bench. When everybody's there and he actually is coming off the bench, he has been a big help, even though he does have cold streaks. But he's been, fairly consistently around 20 points a game, maybe 50% of the time on those times when he's coming off the bench. Anyway, thanks for listening to me.
All right. No, appreciate it, Max. That sounds like you're not very convinced, though, either.
I would just tell Max, after Saturday's loss without Vassell, and Wemby at home to the Spurs, Steiny, how can you even – he's got more energy than me. How can you even start to play the schedule game when you drop games like that at home?
And the other part of it is that those other teams have better records against the better teams than you do. Like Phoenix can beat an Oklahoma City.
They beat Denver. Yeah.
Exactly. So the Golden State Warriors right now are 34-31, so they'd need to go 14-3.
Man.
To get to 48 wins. If Phoenix goes 10-7, they're at 48 wins, and they have the tiebreaker. So you start to see how tough it's going to be,
man,
for the Warriors to move up.
And like you said, they were 12th and it got them to 10th, and now it's just kind of stuck.
Let's go to Miguel. Miguel and Hayward. Hey, Miguel, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Man, just let me say that, I love y'all's show.
Oh, thanks.
You guys make my day every day. I appreciate it. But, I just want to give a shout-out to the chef, Stan Curry. Happy birthday.
Yep.
I still remember the day when he got drafted, me and my twin brother were watching ESPN, and the New York Knicks were right I think they were about to pick next, but, we took Curry. And, man, all that is history. Man, he brought us 4 championships. We just need one more. So for his wish for happy birthday, I'm going to guarantee that he's going to get his 5th ring this year. So I hope he gets it.
There you
happy
go.
Happy birthday, Chef. And you guys take care, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Miguel. Miguel is guaranteed. Steph's winning his 5th title this year.
Wow. Could you imagine?
But no, I can't. Right now, I can't.
It brought a smile to my face. So you're telling me they're in L.A., it's his birthday. Steiny, how do you not get off the hook? You're a pro. He's been at this.
Exactly.
But you're in L.A.
Exactly.
You got all the money in the world, and you're married.
888-957-9570 is the number. Warriors lose to the Mavericks last night. They're now 3.5 behind the Mavericks. But the Mavericks own the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
so make it 4.5 behind Dallas. And, the Warriors were down 76-72. Klay Thompson missed a shot. Trace Jackson-Davis followed it up, 76-72. Wasn't like he got blown out last night, even though you were missing 2 starters. You didn't get blown out, even though a lot of guys didn't have their A game.
Like you said, it was teetering, though. They got down, 18?
They got this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, boy. And they battled back.
Wait, what do you mean?
The Warriors to cut the lead. I mean, what they get? It got in double. It was like 15, 16-point lead at one time. The Mavericks.
I think their biggest lead was halfway through the third, or fourth rather, when they put the game away. I'll tell you what, I'll entertain this call, but I got to give a dose of reality too if I hear somebody going overboard. What's up, Coach in Vallejo? No, this is negativity, and I'm not having it with our young players. They're the future.
Hey, good morning.
Hey,
good morning, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Hey, Steiny.
Yeah.
Great. First of all, I'd like to give you credit because I like your honesty of speaking your mind, whether I agree with you or not.
Okay.
I can really appreciate that in a person. So I'm going to do this. And
right.
Guru, sometimes, you let your emotions get the better of you, but I want to talk about Pinsky, and you like to talk about his basketball IQ. And I'm not a young man. I'm 69 years old, so I've seen a lot of basketball in my life. But how many players right now in today's NBA gets by on just guile? Okay, I use the word guile. That's the way we used to call it, versus basketball IQ when I was growing up. That cleverness, outthinking. You need to have some ability. The guy has no jump shot. Okay, the guy, the league has gotten used to him. That flopping in the lane, they're not calling that for him anymore. He can't stop the point of attack. Okay, and that's what we really need out this guy. So if he's not a shot maker, okay, at his size, where does his ceiling? What is his ceiling? It can't be very high in today's NBA when everyone is playing above the rim.
Thanks for the call.
Nope.
He ain't been a Pods fan from the beginning.
How many minutes? Pods is playing too much. Pajemski's playing too much.
Well, last night they had to.
Well, but they've had to a lot this year because, how come? Well, because Klay has been terrible.
And what about
Wiggins
the playmaking, though, Coach? Give them that. What about what you just talked about?
No,
they don't got many dudes. I hear what he said.
I'm totally. Yeah. I completely hear what he's saying about Pajemski. I don't know what his ceiling is. He's been more of a plus than minus. I don't know what his ceiling is. He might not be a starter in the NBA. He may be better coming off the bench. He may be one of these guys who, if he starts, he's not quite as good as most of the other starters. But if he comes off the bench, I don't know what Pajemski will eventually be.
Well, he's been a plus this year, and that's all I would tell the caller. I get he's down the road with he's not enamored with all the other stuff.
Because they're trying.
He's been a plus.
They're asking him to do too much right now. He's a rookie, played 1 year of college, and they're asking him to do too much because they have nobody else to do a couple of the things that he does. They have to play him.
I wonder if the caller knows that, like almost by default. But he's averaging 10, 5, and 4, and like he's not the problem.
I mean, the issue is if you play Pajemski and you play Draymond Green and you play Trace Jackson Davis, those guys aren't scorers. They're going to be left open. They're going to mess up some spacing. But, I mean, to me, ever since I saw Kerr put Pajemski into the Bulls game on that offensive possession, I feel like I see what he's looking at.
Wow.
You don't have anybody. Curry was out of that game, if you remember. Draymond fouled out. And this is the thing. And again, nobody's a superstar and nobody's a bum, but Moody does some nice things, but he cannot beat a guy off the dribble. Pajemski is the one guy who can do that a little bit. Wiggins can't beat a guy off the dribble and find somebody. Kuminga's game is not there yet. So you got to play Pajemski in case you get up against a shot clock and nobody can get a shot off without Curry and without Draymond Green.
You may know this off the top, but if I were to ask you what do you think Pod's shooting from 3 percentage-wise, what would you say?
It's better than you think.
Yeah, 38%. Shocked me. 45% from the field. But again, I would tell that caller, because we've taken a bunch of calls, and I feel like just from a Pajemski standpoint, it comes off as if he's got more of an opportunity than others. And it's glaring that he's taking it, Steiny. He's taking it. And if you're talking about the playmaking ability like you are, I want to fight you, but I just can't about Wiggins being that type of dude. He's a dude where the shot clock is going. Sometimes on a good day, he can create his own shot.
His own. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but as far as getting others involved, that's a need.
888-957-9570 is the number. I'm curious. I'm interested to know what Warrior fans thought of that game last night. Because I'm kind of with you. On the one hand, you go into the game without Curry, without Draymond Green, you're thinking we're probably not going to win this game. And I was talking to Evan before the show, and he's like, that's the game where, and he paused because we're all afraid to say it.
What?
We're all afraid to say it. But damn it, that's a game where the veterans got to carry you.
Well, you're without two of your best veterans.
Well, that's fine. Okay.
So now who are we talking?
We're talking about Clay. We're talking about Wiggins.
And to be honest, Clay would tell you.
And you know what? No.
He would love it.
No, and I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook. They didn't play. Your other two veterans did not play. Like, that counts. I get it. They didn't play terribly, but when Draymond Green doesn't play, which is 2 out of every 3 games, at least this year, like, that's a bad game because you need him. Steph obviously is the exception because he's played virtually the whole season this year. I think he's only missed 6 or 7, something like that, 5 or 6. But, like, that's the other thing about, you want to, okay, let's bring Clay back at a good number, and we'll Steph at, like, they've played, Steph and Clay have not missed 10 games between them, have they? Probably. I don't think Clay's missed more than 2 or 3 games. You got to factor that in moving forward. Are Steph, Clay, and Draymond going to play more games next year than this past year? Because if you don't think they will, then you better get deeper. Brian and Hayward. What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy?
Guys, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I hear a lot of like negative opinions about really young players. Like, for years, people were, not satisfied with Kuminga's play, even after we won a championship with 2 rookies and who were playing. And as far as Pajemski goes, I don't think a lot of people who watch the Warriors, want to call them fans, realize that we have a system. We have an identity. I know it doesn't show all the time, but Kerr has put a system in place where a guy like Pinsky can flourish. And there's going to be mistakes along the way. And he's young. And same with TJD. When we put these rookies on the floor, we have to assume there will be like a 60-40 plus minus in terms of their mistakes. And anything above that is a bonus. So I called the other day and I said, man, Pinsky's built like Curry, but he rebounds. I know for the last couple of years, Steve Kerr was really, really frustrated with the lack of rebounding from two of our biggest, strongest, most athletic guys in Wiggins and Kuminga. So if he can bring in a guard where he can put Clay in a different role to be a little more efficient and bring in a guy who has just an overall floor game where he can complement Steph and Kuminga and some of the other guys, I think Kerr's doing a really good job of tinkering with this lineup, given everything he's got and the lack of Draymond and Steph the last couple games. But I just wanted to bring Pinsky positivity to the call, fellas. And I really, really think that in a couple of years, all these naysayers of Pinsky are going to be quiet or disappear. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Appreciate the call.
Well, there can't be too many right now. Like, if anything, is what you said, Steiny. Maybe he's playing too much, but, I mean, he's been a plus on the season. Nobody can deny that. He'll be on the all-rookie team, so but I believe. So that's what we need to understand. We need we need to get this. You know what? Kuminga's been good this year. He's improved. Yeah. Pinsky, had a good rookie year. Trace Jackson Davis has come on. Moody has probably contributed more this year than he has in the first 2 years. Doesn't mean you win 50 games. Like, what's the big? Is that the big picture though?
You cannot shortcut young guys growing up. Like, this is the first step. They're starting to get playing time, and they're losing. Like, that's the first step. The next step is you keep getting playing time, and you start to win more games. But I don't think there's there's not, to me, a magic move that's going to take this team to a 50-plus win team.
What